Offset is a unique function. It lets you traverse among cells, and it also lets you extract a few rows and columns. We will look at both these functions in this video. Once we understand the fundamentals, we'll move on to an application of the offset function. Let's start. In the first example, we will look at traversing. We will start from the cell A2, and using that as a pivot, we will get the value in the cell C6. Let's write the formula as offset. The first parameter is reference. This is our starting point. We will start with the cell A2. The next two parameters are rows and columns, which means starting from the reference cell, how many rows and columns should we move to get the value of destination cell. The cell C6 is 4 rows down and 2 columns right. So we will write 4 and 2 here. We will look at the optional parameters later. As we close the bracket, we get the value as 2800, which is the same as the cell C6. In this example, we have moved from row 2 to row 6, and the row parameter was a positive number 4. Similarly, we moved 2 columns from column A to column C, as our column parameter was a positive number 2. If in offset we use negative row and negative column parameters, we can move in the other direction. To see how that works, let's move from C6 to A2. Let's write that formula. Offset. First parameter is the reference. We will select C6 here. For the row parameter, we will provide -4, as we want to move from row 6 to row 2. And for the column parameter, we will provide -2, as we want to move from column C to column A. And we get the value in cell A2. So that's how you traverse using offset. Now let's look at how do you extract rows and columns. Let me clear this. We will start from A2 again and extract the cell C6 to E7. Let's write offset. The reference is the same, A2. Rows and columns will be 4 and 2. As we saw a little while back, this will bring us to the cell C6. Now the next optional parameter is height, which means how many rows you want to extract. Since we want rows 6 and 7, which is 2 rows, we will write 2 here. The final parameter is width. This means how many columns do you want to extract. Since we want the data in columns C, D and E, we will give the width as 3. And we get the result we wanted. Now that we've seen the basics, let's look at an application of the offset function. From this sales data, we want to first identify the salesperson who had maximum sales for the first half of the year. And for that person, we want to find out the sales in the month of June. The first thing we need to do is find out the highest sale. We can write the max function for that. Max. And we will provide the range as B2 to B13. We get the value as 16,700. Now, if we start from cell B1, then the position of 16,700 or the maximum sales will give us how many rows do we need to traverse to reach that row. We can find the position using the match function. So let's write match function around the max function. Match. Lookup value is the result of the max function. Lookup array is the range B2 to B13. And exact match for match type. We get 8 as the value. Let's write offset function now. Reference is B1. The match function will return the row. Now we move on to the column parameter. We can type 6 here as we want to get the value for June. However, that would not be dynamic. So I will use a function called month. It expects a parameter called serial number. I will select the cell A15 as that contains the month name. I will append it with &1 to return the month number. This will tell us how many columns should we move from the current column B. That's it, and close the bracket. We get the value as 3000. If I change the month to January, it starts to display 2400 instead of 3000. So that's how you use the offset function. I hope this was useful. It'll be wonderful if you could please subscribe to our channel. Your support would mean a lot to us. Thank you for watching.